Hello, one chat, whoever's in here. Grandma Joe, how are you? How is your husband? Hey, Crafty Debbie, how are you, hun? Yep, you see my tree? Getting ready for Christmas in July. Hi, Bella, how are you? Well, I came on twofold just to say happy 4th of July to everybody, but also I've had a lot of people texting me asking me about the earthquake. Not good, huh? Well, we're praying. Um, I was at work and I did not feel a thing. Now, what's weird about it, and I don't know what it is, I don't know, it's bizarre, but not even a mile from where I was at work, people, their houses were swaying. So I don't know, it's bizarre. But people, as far as, oh, maybe almost 3 hours away, because it was about 2.5 hours where it hit from me, but they felt it in Vegas in certain areas and Long Beach, Lakewood, like I said, Laguna Beach. But I did not feel one thing, nothing. And you know, in a store like Hobby Lobby, glass would have been dropping and everything else. Nothing at all. But thank you, everyone that did inquire. And they said that we might be getting one bigger than the one that hit today. But where it hit, like in the Mojave Desert, it was very desolate. So that's why there weren't a lot of casualties. So that was a good thing. Hey Dana, how are you? Hey Maria. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, Debbie. I mean, I didn't feel anything, and yet one of the girls I work with was at home today, and she felt her whole house swaying back and forth, and that's not even 10 minutes away from where we work. So it's just bizarre the way it just hits certain areas, you know. But it is the biggest that we've had in 20 years because the 6.4, that's a decent sized earthquake. I mean, what I should say is if it had hit in an epic center like in the heart of LA or Orange County, wherever, if it had hit, the epicenter had been in an area where it was very populated, it would have been a different story. It would have been a lot different. But because of where it hit, you know, as far as I know, no one was hurt terribly. But like they were saying today, the pressure within, underground, it's got to start releasing. And since we haven't had anything to speak of in 20 years, it starts getting ready. So who knows? Yeah, see, and I haven't felt one aftershock. And they said some of the aftershocks could be bigger than the earthquake. Yeah, Mary Lou. Oh, we had an earthquake today, Linda. And like I said, it was a decent size. Are you real close to the San Andreas and you didn't feel anything? Isn't that weird? That is so bizarre. And if you know what? Sometimes there's just some real idiots around here. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, for any of you that follow me, you know what a high fire area I live in. Okay. You saw last year what it looked like. Well, we aren't allowed to have fireworks in this area at all because of that very reason. If one goes off and gets into the canyon, forget about it. Well, some idiot just earlier let off a big, huge, and I knew it was here. It wasn't from the park where they're going to have them, you know, where they're being maintained. And it just, it's like, come on, you idiot. Just go over to the stupid park and watch them instead of doing that. Because it didn't give off any kind of, pretty light. It was just a huge booming sound, and it scared Bella and Polly half to death. But I was able to talk to them. Because when they start barking, and I'll tell them, I'll tell them whoever it is, like the mailman or whatever. So I'm hoping it'll work in a few minutes, because it's getting close to 9 o'clock, and that's when they let them off at the park, at the lake. And I live right by the lake. And so when they start letting go, I'm hoping that they won't start barking, but hopefully I'll be able to tell them without them getting into a frenzy. But I wanted to be home with them for this very reason, because, if you're home with them, you can calm them down. But if they're by themselves and they start hearing all this stuff, it's like, what the heck's going on? Hey, Sarah, how are you? Yes, happy 4th to all of you. My daughter that passed away, she was in the heart of the epicenter in the Northridge earthquake. That was a huge one. That was back in 90. Oh, when was the Northridge? We were still in Lakewood. And we moved here in 94. I think it was in 91, but I'm not positive. And she called me and she said, Mom, she goes, I can't believe it. She said, the furniture is literally moving from one side of the apartment to the other. Literally. And they had just moved out of this one apartment complex just a couple weeks before the earthquake. And the apartment that they lived in, it was one of the apartments that was flattened. And had they not moved out, they would have been in that apartment. Oh, were they beautiful? Yes, Debbie. What's your favor? Oh, okay. Oh, no. Yes, we will definitely. Keep Debbie's son in prayer. His battalion, they just deployed them to Afghanistan. Is he able to tell you anything, Debbie? Well, I know that when, I can't remember now who was it that shot down our drone and also hit one of our Navy ships, I believe. My brother, he was special, I don't know what you call him. I was extremely young, but he fought in well, the Vietnam War. Really never should have happened. But anyway, he was a lifer in the military. He went to West Point, and so he lives in and has forever New England. And they used to get a helicopter, and they would fly in and fly down to the on his property, and his wife and kids never would know, and he wasn't allowed to tell them anything of what was going on. And he was in the special ops, and he did that for years, and where the real intense fighting was going on. But he did that for a long, long time. So I know there's certain times they can't tell you anything of what's happening. Okay, Sherry, good night. I'm glad you had a good fourth. How long will he be in Afghanistan? Debbie, do you know that? How are you doing, Mary Lou? I haven't seen you forever. Oh, so your husband was in the Vietnam War, yeah. Rich is a vet. Your daughter has an embroidery shop and you're running the big machine. Oh no. That's my grandmother's birthday, August 11th. He'll be there 9 months. Oh, and he can't be there for the baby. Before he got deployed, did he think he was going to be able to be with the baby? Did it just happen all of a sudden and they had to leave? Wow, good for you, Mary. You're probably having fun. You know, when they when they do deploy them like that, just all of a sudden. I mean, I don't know if it was all of a sudden, but when they do that, you know, you always wonder, okay, what's going on? You know, that they're deploying them, you know, just out of the blue. Because obviously they know things we don't. Oh, good. So does she live with you or by you, Debbie? Hey, Chef Dalian, how are you? In Nebraska, okay. So you're gonna fly there? Because if she's due in August, then what are you just gonna go stay there for a while? Or is it a C-section where you know when you can go? Oh, that's true, Mary. I mean, it isn't just the person that's serving, it's the whole family, you know? Did y'all have nice weather everywhere? And Grandma Joe, your husband's in the hospital, correct? Am I right? I can't remember if you said he was too fragile or in too much pain to go home with hospice, or I can't remember. Are they making him at least a little bit more comfortable as far as the pain? I think about you so often. Yeah, I don't blame you, Mary. A little cloudy now. Hi, Dana. It was nice here today. And tonight it's cool, which is nice. Oh, okay, Debbie. Yes, I am, Grandma Joe. Yeah, I have this turned up. Let me see if it's up all the way. Can you hear me any better? Yeah, I was asking you if I couldn't remember if he had to stay in the hospital because he was too bad or if he did end up going home with hospice now. But I was wondering about his pain level, if they're able to, get the pain under control a little bit. Okay, he's on a pump. Now, do you stay with him at the hospital, or do you go home at night and then go back in the morning and stay, or how are you doing that? It's got to be very taxing on you as well. Well, I'm thankful that does he seem to be more comfortable as far as the pain goes? Yeah, you come home at night. Oh, he thought you were a doctor. I'm just thankful that he got some relief from that pain. I was cleaning out my one closet downstairs, and just going through thinking, okay, do I need this? Do you really, really need that, Davita? Do you really? Think about it. This is me talking to myself yesterday. Because I'm trying to get myself into the mode of purging, because I am such a stupid sap when it comes to, you know, everything has some sentimental value to me. And there comes a point, I mean, you just can't keep everything. Oh, he wanted to learn how to, so he's just kind of rum-dum from the medication. Hi, Susan, how are you? How are you feeling? So I was going through stuff, and I've used this Christmas tree like for my Valentine's decor when I make stuff, when I put on there my Easter. But this reminds me of the tree. I don't know how many of you were on the night I was telling you that my first Christmas tree, my very first Christmas tree ever, I found next to a dumpster in the apartment building. And I mean, this looks like the Taj Mahal compared to what that tree looked like. It was real, just try to envision this. It was a little bit taller than this, and this is about 2 feet, maybe. And it was flocked, okay? And I mean flocked. And you know how flock trees, when they get old, they start almost looking matted and start getting yellow? Well, okay, so envision all that. And then it was tipped over to the side, okay? Pretend like, and I'm not kidding. And I have looked for the picture of that tree, and I cannot find it. I took a picture of it with my Polaroid. Remember those? Because I always wanted to remember it, and I cannot find that stupid thing. But anyway, it leaned way over like this. I don't know if you can really, this isn't doing it justice. But I put some bulbs on it and called it a day. But that was my first Christmas tree I ever had. I know. Oh, yeah. But, oh, that tree was so ugly. It really was. But, of course, now, almost 50 years later, I think back on it with fond memories. Anyway, so I just brought this out in case I start making ornaments or something, so I could put the ornaments on here for my July, Christmas in July series. So I'll start that next week. Right now I'm getting things together, and that was my main purpose for cleaning out the closet. And now I'm going through my other closet, and I want to get everything I need right at the ready, so I don't start something and think, oh shoot, I don't have this, I don't have that, or you know what I mean. So anyway, that's what I did yesterday, and then today, of course, I had to work all day. I worked from 9 to 6, and wouldn't you know it, I only got an hour's sleep last night. Doggone, I was so tired at work. It was crazy. I got a stupid cramp in my leg again. Charlie horse, I guess. And it was in the upper thigh, in the inner part of your upper thigh. Oh my Lord. I'm telling you, that hurt so bad. And then I couldn't go back to sleep, and I had to get up at 5:30. So today at work, I mean, and it was so busy. I didn't think we were going to be busy. And my department was the busiest of the whole store today. Go figure. And when they came in for material, you guys, I'm not kidding, they didn't get one or two bolts that they wanted cut. One woman had 15 and the other one had 10. And then I had a lot of upholstery material. Oh, God. Yeah, they were open. I didn't, and I told, when the women came in, I said, I'm shocked, honestly. I mean, on the 4th, I wouldn't be at Hobby Lobby if I didn't work there. You know what I mean? I don't think I do drink enough water, Debbie. Yeah, this one. Well, and the other thing was, I knew, because I knew it had to be around 2 or 3 in the morning, and I knew if I got up, these two would think they were going out. And I thought, oh man, do I just lay here and try, and I mean, I'm trying to straighten my leg and it was killing me when I was trying to straighten it. And it was the type of thing, no matter where you put your leg, it would draw up again. The muscle would draw up. Oh, it was awful. Well, actually, Charlie Brown's tree probably looked better than that one. I'm not kidding. It was so, but I needed a tree. So in those instances, you're just thankful to find anything. Yeah, that's the truth, Dana. Yeah, well, it's got to be so just beyond nerve wracking. And nerve wracking isn't even the right word for Grandma Joe, because, I mean, when you're dealing with a situation like that, first of all, I mean, you're so upset about what's happening. And then, when you start to see how they start to slip, there's probably a part that, as far as the pain goes, you're thankful to God that they're not writhing in that pain. But on the same token, the other side of the coin, is just as heart wrenching. And it's just, it's awful no matter how you look at it. It's just, it's hard. And heart isn't even the right. See, I hate even saying words because none of these words really mean anything and they don't depict what really you feel. Because a lot of times there aren't any words. There are no words. You know, the best words I think is I'm here. I'm here and I'm praying. I mean, other than that, you know, you can find any word you want and it's not gonna, you know. I mean, and it's all meant, and I'm basically saying this because of what I went through. And people mean well. They always mean well, you know. But sometimes just saying, you know what, I'm here, you know. Hey, Perlini, I've never seen you before. How you doing? Is this your first time on my channel? Yeah, Mary, it's true, Mary Lou. Oh, for corn's sake, Lynn. You got me. Um, oh, uh, it is mind-boggling. And it is like you're walking out of reality. So what did you find, Linda? Okay, you went to Dollar Tree by your daughter's house. Oh, they had all the sunflower plates and bowls and all that? Yeah, my Dollar Trees suck too. Yeah, I'm not frozen here. Well, that's cool. I love it. Bella is quiet tonight. She's probably half asleep. You're probably exhausted, huh, Bella? Isn't it Pearlnini? Pearlnini. Like a Perlini. Oh, you're doing laundry? Yeah. Um, oh my Lord, now look, this tree is, what is happening to this thing? Ugh. Yeah, I figured you were exhausted. Pearl Nini. Like a panini, yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, I wonder how Val's doing. She'll be coming home, I think Sunday or Monday. I hope they're having a good time. I can hear the fireworks going off by the lake, and so they're not so loud. It's not even affecting them. Thank goodness. I know, huh? That'll be fun. It'll be fun to see it. You're on now? Good. Oh, Perla? How cute. Yeah, I think tomorrow I'll start kind of getting my stuff together and kind of honing in on exactly what I want to do for the Christmas in July. Because I want to get that over with because then I want to get my sweets going, you know? My faux desserts and all that. And then I'll go on to um, some couple Halloween um, decor pieces that I think you're gonna really think are cute. No, that's sweet. Yes, Bella has helped a lot with you, huh? Hey, Sandra, how are you? Oh, which casino are you by, Debbie? No, Grandma Joe, you're gonna stick around for a long time, and you'd have a lot of uh, people here backing you up. Hey, Gabby Goods. It was dark in Kentucky. Oh, I haven't heard of that one. You're right, Bella. I do believe that. I believe God puts everyone, good or bad, in your life for a reason. No, I was not affected. I came on to tell people that too. I personally did not even feel it. Now, there were people that, like I said earlier, there were people that were only 10 minutes away from where I was at work that their houses were swaying back and forth. Go figure. I don't get it. Yeah, an earthquake. You really are a good artist. I was on your channel, Grandma Joe, and I was watching when you were making that rose, the purple. Oh, the Northridge. I was telling them, Lynn, I don't think you were on here, but my daughter that passed away, my granddaughter was a tiny, tiny newborn, Ashley, my oldest grandchild, and they had just moved out of an apartment building in Northridge, and they lived on the first floor, and that particular apartment completely collapsed. If they had stayed in it, they would have been killed at the time. And I think I've told you guys this story. Some of you that were on, some of you might not know, but the apartment that they moved into, the day of the earthquake, the morning, well, it was prior to that. They were putting their stuff in their apartment, and they were going to put the television on a dresser and then put the crib next to the dresser. And I told her at the time, I said, don't put that crib by that television, anywhere by that television. And so she said, okay, I'll move it. Well, she called me, and when the earthquake had happened, I mean, she was hysterical. She said, Mom, the furniture is moving. I'm watching this furniture literally move across the room. And she said, and Ashley, and that's my granddaughter, she said, Ashley was crying, and so we picked her up in the middle of the night and put her in the bed with us. And she said, and when the earthquake hit, the television fell into the crib. And I told her, I said, Tanya, do you see why I told you to move that crib from the television? Well, I mean, there was God right there in that. You know what I mean? Because if Ashley hadn't have cried, Ashley wouldn't be here. Well, you better believe she moved that crib after that. But I don't know. Sometimes it just takes stuff like that. The kids, I don't know. I honestly think sometimes they think that I'm old for nothing. And if I have nothing left, please know I have a little bit of wisdom. Please. But I remember looking outside, and the pavement looked like, no joke, the pavement looked like waves in the ocean. That's how much the streets were waving. I mean, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then fires started, electrical things caught on fire. Oh, it was something else. Yeah, use your Facebook, Grandma Joe. Oh yeah, it was bad. I mean, the Northridge, and then the other real big one that I remember, I mean, huge. I was pregnant with my oldest son, Jason, and I was having terrible, terrible morning sickness, and I did with all five of them. And then after my third month, boom, it left me. I never even had it. It was the strangest thing. I mean, sicker than a dog, and I mean sick all day and night. It wasn't where, just a little bit of feeling queasy. I mean, throwing up. I couldn't keep anything down. I'd end up throwing up bile because I had nothing left in my stomach. One of those type of things. And the morning of the Northridge earthquake, I was in bed and I was feeling so sick to my stomach. And I had gotten up, thrown up, gotten back in bed, and all of a sudden everything started shaking. I'm telling you, I didn't think it was ever going to end. I mean, oh my God, that one in 71 lasted forever. And that's the one where uh, the freeway, I can't remember now, it was up past LA, I believe. But that's where the freeway completely fell down, a part of the freeway. And then big cracks where cars were going down because there was huge cracks in the pavement. That one was big. Hey, Heather, how are you, honey? Simi Valley, yeah. Yeah, you remember that, Debbie? Yeah, it was crazy. That thing was nuts. Hi, Rosemary. No, I mean, we had an earthquake today, but no, it wasn't. The ones I'm talking about, one was in 71 and the other one I think was 90. Gosh, I can't remember when Northridge. Because it was before we moved here, and we moved here in 94. I want to say it was in 91, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was 93. I don't know. I can't remember now. You remember it, Sandra? Yeah. The 71, that was very, very bad. Very bad. 94, okay. So that happened right before we moved then. Because in 94, that's when OJ did his little deed to Nicole and Ron. Because I remember we were packing up the house and I was watching, I can't remember what I was watching something and the news came on. No, the news came on that night or early in the morning about that. And then the time I'm talking about was when he was being chased in the Bronco. And I remember the helicopters going across our house because at the time he wasn't far. He was on the 91 and we lived right very close to the 91 freeway. And then just so happened that when I moved here and when I worked at the grocery store in Aliso Viejo, I became friends with uh, Dominique uh, Brown and Denise, and their mom used to come in to the store, and their dad. Very nice family. Very nice family. I still talk to them on Facebook a lot. You had an earthquake in Ohio, Heather? You were on the freeway at the same time? Oh, you lived in the mountains? Ooh. No, Bella. No barking. No. No. No barking. No. We've been doing good. We've been doing good. We've been doing good. They're almost done. They're almost done. You had one in Pennsylvania? Oh, that's fine, Dana. Yeah, because when those murders happened, it was right before we moved. Because I remember when we got here, which was 94, the trial had been going on. What were you helping Rich with, Dana? Yeah, I know because you were in Norwalk and I was in hi Pat, and I lived in Long Beach and Lakewood, Bellflower, so very close to where you were. Susan, you've been having earthquakes in Tennessee? Are you kidding, Bella? The volcano, when did it erupt? Right. Ooh, a splinter out of his foot. Ooh. Yeah. I can still hear all those going off. They must be doing about a half hour. Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing with that lava. When it starts coming down, I mean, anything it hits, it's going to burn up. Oh, they're having their grand finale. I stopped after work and I got In-N-Out. I love In-N-Out, okay? The worst hamburger and french fries I have ever gotten from them. How that is possible, I do not know. I didn't even eat all the french fries. And I love their french fries. And then Gloria's coming back home. I think tomorrow she leaves, actually, to go back home. And then I've been looking at my, oh, I don't know what you call them. You know those things where the cloth cubes go into to hold stuff? They sell them like at IKEA and Target and all that. Well, the ones I got, I've never liked because they're black, and I don't want that look. So what I'm thinking after I get done with the Christmas in July and my faux for about a week, I'm going to start taking these down and painting them with chalk paint. And I think I'm going to paint them like an ivory, and then I'm going to sand a little bit here and there to let the black show through just very lightly. And then I'm going to take the brown wax and then I'm going to go over it and then rub it off so it looks more older. And then I got to recover them because I recovered all of mine with fabric because they were just that ugly. Okay, they're having the grand finale. I can hear it. I can't see anything, but I can hear it. Just that ugly purple. And I love purple. And so I got fabric, and then I got knobs, you know, but I don't like the knobs either. So, and I'm talking, this is years ago. So I'm going to pick out some knobs I really like, and I think I know the fabric I want to put on them and paint them. Now I am still fine here. It's my phone that is buffering. But on my laptop, not my laptop, my iPad, I'm still fine. Can you guys still hear me? And on my phone it's saying live chat 1. Well, there's more than one person on here, YouTube. I'm gonna I'll turn it off and turn it on. This is why I don't film with my phone. It's just a joke. All right, I'm just going to turn it off and then turn it back on. So just keep talking amongst yourselves till I get this puppy back up. Lay down, guys. We're not going out yet. Lay down. It's taking forever for this to come up. All right, let's see what happens. At least I can then answer if you're saying something. Okay, that's more like it. 17 in the chat because it was saying 1. Okay, now I missed it. I hope she won't what? I love it. They did a good job in coloring that. I'm back. The phone, but I won't film on my phone because this phone, I never know when it's going to work. Um, well, I just brought this out for, well, for no reason really. Just, when I put or start my DIYs, I'll have this stuff. I don't know if I have stuff on it or not. But if I make ornaments, I'll just stick them on there so I have somewhere to put them until that series is over, and then I'll put it back in the closet. Well, for corn's sake. Look who it is. Were your ears ringing? I was talking about you. Are you leaving for home tomorrow, Gloria? Atta girl. I bet you're excited, aren't you? Are you in the middle of getting a home, Gloria, or just thinking about it right now? You're leaving at 5 a.m. Are you driving? Yeah, oh, you know what? I'll bet you she's out doing the town. You are looking for a home, okay. Do you have any in particular, Gloria? And Cheryl, she's probably asleep. She started us on the collagen and the I still haven't gotten my serum. I'm using the rosehip oil, but I haven't gotten the serum yet that she's talking about. What's it look like, Gloria? Oh, for corn's sake. Well, now look at who's here. It's Maria. Maria, were your ears burning? Everyone that we are wondering where they are, they all of a sudden pop up like magic. What did you do, Maria, for the 4th? Oh, that was fun. Yeah, I like that too. What'd you do today, Maria? You had a barbecue, Gloria? Yeah, the gang's all here. geez, tonight well, it was 6:30 when I came home from work. And I thought, you know what? I am not going anywhere because I was coming home and there was a truck. Okay, so I'm over in this lane, the farthest left lane, right? And then this big truck was in, getting ready to make a left-hand turn. So something, I don't know what it was, but I started to hesitate because I don't know, I just had a weird feeling. And sure enough, that doggone truck, not paying a bit of attention, it was three guys in it. And this is where I have to stop and think and not lose my cool because my boys keep telling me, Mom, you need to calm down. You're going to get yourself hurt. Because I'm not even going to tell you what I did one time. Not even going to tell you. But it started to rev up in me. So I'm going, and all of a sudden I thought, you know what? And I kind of slowed down. This truck had no idea, wasn't paying a bit of attention, started to come over into my lane. I laid on that horn, okay? And I laid on it. The guy gives me the bird, okay? Okay, so that's it. Now I'm ticked because I'm thinking, okay, you idiot, you're the one that was in the wrong, okay? And now you're flipping me off? I don't think so. So I... And I had to stop. I literally had to stop and talk to myself and say, Davida, remember what the boys told you. Remember what the boys told you. And I know my blood pressure was just boiling. I was so mad. Oh, things like that drive me nuts. I know. And that's what they tell me. They keep saying, Mom, you need to calm down. I did, Lynn. I've done a couple things, and oh, I get so mad. Well, I'll tell you the one thing I did. I'm not going to tell you the other thing, but the one thing I did. I was going to work when I worked at the grocery store. And the street that I had to go down is a very, very busy street all the time, night and day. And it always has some kind of construction going on. Okay. So I'm driving, trying to get to work. All of a sudden, I'm driving, and it was kind of the same scenario as today. Two guys in a car. And they were bebopping around and going fast and everything. So I'm going. All of a sudden, they start to get in front of me. And it was to where, I could have clipped the back of them because the way they pulled it in front of me. I'm laying my horn, and now and so then they started to speed up. And so they got into the left-hand turn. Well, I followed them. I got out of my car in a left-hand turn and started yelling at them. And then they just took off when the arrow turned. I was livid. I thought, you idiot. Because they're not thinking. All they're doing is showing off, speeding around. And I was just so irritated. When things like that happen, I have tunnel vision and I can't see anything else but what's going on in front of me. And the boys have told me over and over, Mom, you need to stop. You can't do that. But I don't even think at that moment, and I don't know what happens to me. You know how they say you get so mad sometimes you see red? That's almost how, when things like this happen, and it's like, doggone it. And I forget, and then it's after the fact that I think, Davida, and I'm talking to myself again. I do a lot of that. So I got back in the car and I started thinking, Davida, you idiot. They could have had a gun, pulled it out, boop, there you go. You're a goner. But at the time, when they do stupid stuff like that, and I think, my God, I could have almost been in a wreck. I don't know. I don't know. And that's why I won't do a ride along, with the phone. Because if you could have seen me today, now, of course, you weren't there, but I was thinking to myself, can you imagine if I had the phone going and talking away to them and all of a sudden this happened and they see me go ballistic? But things like that just irritate the heck out of me. I don't know. I get so mad. So needless to say, I think I'm a, what do you call the kind of drivers that get mad? I'm a, I can't think what you call it. I can't remember. But when my daughter used to drive with me, Daisha, okay, one of the biggest things that irritate me, okay, one of the biggest things is, okay, so you're going a good speed, because around here you go 50, 55, 60, and that is your speed limit on the streets, okay? So I'm going now. I'm going like 50, 55. All of a sudden, you see this car come and, okay, pretend like they're here. This is me and this is them. And I'm going, and all of a sudden they go, okay, I'm going to turn right in front of you, and then I'm going to go 5 miles an hour. Oh, I'm telling you, and I think to myself, why, if you know you're going to go that slow when you turn, knowing that you've got a car coming at you at a good speed, if you have to go in front of me, go on over to the next lane if there's no cars. And many times that is the case. No, 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 no. They have to go right in front of me and go 5 miles an hour. Oh, even thinking about it makes me mad. What? I get so mad. I am. No, I'm not kidding. I mean, I really did. I really did do that. Well, no, I'm stupid is what I am. When is my birthday? My birthday's September 1st. Yeah, no, I'm not buffering because I always look at my hand. Road rage. Yes. Hi, Peggy. Oh, we're just talking about how stupid I am. Well, see, and that's the thing. Well, and oh, your son's September 4th? Well, see, and that's the thing. That's what irritates the heck out of me is it's not like I get in my car thinking, I want to get mad at somebody today. Just the opposite. I think, okay, just let me get there and just be a nice drive. When you do something like that, because I didn't know this, but Mark was telling me people can get a ticket for going too slow as well as going too fast. I've yet to see it. But when you are turning, and I'm always mindful of that when I'm getting ready to turn or whatever, or get into another lane, I don't slow down. Not when the speed of people are going fast. You're just asking to get hit. You know what I mean? It's like either don't go, or if you do go, go into another lane where you know that car behind you isn't going 55 that's going to smack into you, you know? Oh, I used to see so much, you guys, when I worked 40 hours a week and I worked where I worked because it was about a half hour drive to and from. I mean, I remember going one time down that same street, that same old good street, and the light was green and this car I saw was not moving. So I did get in. I had a chance to get into the other lane. I had to look at him. I just had to. He's reading a flippin' book. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Have you ever gotten so mad at somebody when you're driving that you want to look at them? You just want to look at them and go, really? Really? God, reading a book. I've seen it. Trust me, I've seen it all. I've seen it all. Putting makeup on, taking the curlers out of their hair. Oh. Every time I go to the doctor, okay, and it's down this stupid street, because she's right by where I used to work. Every time I go, and you know, the first thing they do is they take your blood pressure. Every time my blood pressure is through the roof. And so I always tell them, give me about 5 minutes. Just let me lay on the table. I already know what did it. It's driving down here. So I'll lay on the table and they'll take it again and it slowly goes back down. I'm telling you. Oh. God. Well, that's why I don't drive LA traffic. I don't. I mean, I would, oh, forget it. No way. Calm? Oh no, I'm not calm. Yatzel, are you new to my channel? I did not feel it, Peggy. Other people around me and different in their houses did. Well, now, Lynn, you're right on that. You are right on that as far as not going right away. And I've told uh, my kids that very thing. You always want to give a leeway for, you know, when the light first changes, because you don't know, and I've seen it before where cars will speed across even on a red light. I do agree with you there. This guy, it had been green. It didn't just turn green. He just wanted to sit and read a book for a little bit. Oh, God. No, no, no. Hold on. Stop. 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 Lay down. Okay, where was I? Well, what happened with the one girl that was putting on her makeup and taking the curlers out of her hair, actually, we were going to Tanya's, the first year anniversary when we went to the gravesite and the whole family met there. And and now Jason, my oldest son, he drives just the speed limit or a little under. And he's very nice to everybody, never gets upset. just everything rolls off his back. Now, Jeremy, the one you guys met, he's just like I am. Josh is in between. Daisha, she's fine too. Well, we're driving, and all of a sudden, this white car is swerving. I mean, swerving. I mean, going from one lane to the other on the freeway. I go, Jason, get away from her. I said, I don't know what her trip is. And so he, he could see it too. He saw what was going on. So he moved into the farthest lane. I said, get up. I want to see what she's doing. She is not paying a bit of. Now I'm talking the freeway. I'm not even talking a road around town. LA traffic. And she, oh my Lord, help us. Jason could see I was just fuming. And he just, it's okay, Mom. It's okay. It's all right. I said, oh, could you please give me some of your brain, because nothing really rattles him. So you had to make, I'm going back. You had filet of fish land in my car one time. Oh, he threw it in? Idiot. Oh, you know what I did one time? I will tell you this one. I was coming up the road to my house, and I'm driving, and all of a sudden, what was it that went on it? I think it was a balloon, a water balloon, but then they put some kind of, like, I think it was whipped cream or something. Well, anyway, it hit me straight, I mean, on my windshield. Okay. I put my car in reverse, and it was like four guys. Put my car in reverse. There was no cars behind me. I mean, I looked. Stopped, got out of my car, chased them. Finally I told, and they were like teenagers, and I said, stop. I said, I'm not kidding. Every one of you stop. And they did. I said, what do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? I mean, what you did could have caused a bad accident, okay? It's not cute. It's not funny. I don't think you're funny. I said, do I need to go and talk to all your parents? I mean, because they were like 14, 15. And they thought it was funny. They were standing behind trees throwing these balloons. But yeah, I mean, I just got out of that car and started chasing them. I was so mad. Yeah. And my grandmother that raised me, she was in a terrible car accident. Uh, I'm reading these. It was back in the 30s, and she was in a car, and there was an accident, and the car turned over, and both of her kneecaps were shoved into her thighs. And there was no one around after this incident. I don't know if it was nighttime. I didn't ask her what it was. But anyway, two young boys finally, because she said, I do remember her telling me, she would look through the rearview mirror at herself, and she was literally turning gray by because the pain and everything. And these two boys finally came by, and they saw the car. So she must have been in an area where obviously there weren't a lot of people. And they got her to the hospital, and she had scars all the way around her kneecaps, on both kneecaps. And from that day forward, she never drove again. Never. My mother drove her, or I would drive her, and she would not get in the car. I mean, to drive. It scared her that much. Oh, I wanted to knock their heads together, Peggy, believe me. Well, see, the thing is, when those little punks do stuff like that, okay, and if you could have seen them, you'd understand. They think it's funny until somebody stops and then they confront them about it. Then they're not so, bold, because they think they're going to get away with it. People are just going to go, drive by. Thing is, when you do things like that, one day you're going to mess with the wrong one, and it's not going to be so funny, because it may not be me, but it may be a couple other guys that confront them. I mean, you just don't do that kind of stuff to people, especially when they're driving. Yours is the 6th of September? You're September 28th, Heather? Yes. Yes. When things like that happen in the morning, yeah, I hate when stuff like that happens in the morning. Yeah, I know. I've got to start remembering that. Well, and that's the other thing. I mean, what about these people when they get up on the bridges and they think it's funny and they throw these rocks or these big, I don't know, bigger than a rock. But some people have died when they've done this kind of stuff. Yeah, I've just got to really control when I get angry. You know what it is I just don't have tolerance for rude or, things of this nature that we're talking about, or disrespectful people. I just, the older I get, the less tolerance I have for it. And yeah, I just, I just, ugh. There's no need. I mean, I always try to be a nice person. And I am. I mean, by nature, I am. I'm a people person. I'm a nice person. But when I meet rude or people that just want to hurt, or people that make assumptions, or people that, I don't know, you know what I'm saying. I don't tolerate it well. I just really don't. I don't know what's happened. I mean, I never did tolerate it really well, but I really don't tolerate it very well anymore. I think maybe some of it is, I just thought of this. Maybe it's because I've worked with the public for so long, and unfortunately, and all of you that work with the public, I'm sure would probably agree to this. When you work with the public, you meet all kinds. Okay, you meet the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I always try to keep in my mind the good, because the good does outweigh the bad. But sometimes, and I'll take it a step further. For the police force, okay, day in and day out, they see people a lot of times that they deal with Now, a lot of them are nice and they're helping people, but the ones that they're seeing that aren't nice or creating problems, they see it all. And they become, after time, they begin to get hardened, to certain things and get more cynical. And I have to keep trying to tell myself, Davida, just calm down and just keep thinking of the good people. And, and you gotta try to get into that frame of mind. And sometimes it is where you have to willingly do it. You know what I mean? It may not just come natural. And because I was a lobby supervisor and I had to deal with complaints, and I did that at Target too, always the complaints. And I've had people throw things at me. I've had people cuss at me. I've had people threaten me. You name it, I've had it. And you have to keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. You have a great day. But when you have that over and over and over, it's like, oh my Lord. Are you a she-devil, Maria? Yeah, I think that's what it is. I really do. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably it. Because remember, maybe it was a couple weeks or 3 weeks ago now, I can't remember. But we were on here, and I had that tea come in. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even remember now what was said. But anyway, I remember thinking, not right now. Mm-mm. And I just went in and got rid of him. It's like, I don't have time for this. Well, yeah, and that's what I would do, Dana. Because we had to. And all I would think is, I'm so glad you can't read my mind. I remember, well, to this day, I think that when I get somebody ugly, and I'll, be smiling at him thinking, oh my Lord. Yeah, I like that one, Heather. Night, Dana. Well, and that's how I look at it too, Maria. I do try to choose my battles, because a lot of them aren't worth it. But like you say, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes they can just bring it out of me. Because I really do like people. I really do. I'm sounding like I'm contradicting myself. But, I mean, for the most part, I like the human race. And I enjoy making people smile and making them happy and giving them uh, kudos, And with all this said about all the idiots, I also, when I'm at work and always have, if I see someone, and I think, she really looks prettier. I really like the way her hair is, or whatever the case. I will always tell someone and compliment them. I don't keep it to myself, you know. I'll always tell them. And I had a lot of elderly people that would shop at the store I worked at before I retired. And, and I remember this one woman, she had the most beautiful hand. And she would come in, I'd say, your hand, you've got the most beautiful hand. And she'd say, oh my gosh, thank you. She was so excited. But I always, if I'm thinking something and it's going to make them feel good, and it's not something, I'm trying to think up, but I just think it, and I think, why not keep, tell them, don't keep it to yourself, because you could really make someone's day just by telling them something nice or kind. Well, that's what I'm saying, Bella. That's what I mean. I mean, I am innately a very nice person, but I can be pushed. I mean, some people, they can be pushed and they don't do nothing. Where me, I mean, it's like I try. I mean, I really do, but and I don't like that. I don't like to feel like that. I don't like my blood pressure going up. I like to be happy. I like to, laugh. I like to bring happiness. Yeah, I mean, it's true. You can. It's funny because speaking of that, um, there was a woman that used to come into the store and always, always in a bad mood. Always. Very short, very just in a bad mood. And there was something that just kept saying to me, just be nice to her. Just be nice to her. And this went on, oh my gosh. And it wasn't just me. I mean, she was that way just innately, it was just always just such a bad mood. And so, time went on and everything. And I was talking to one of the other checkers that had been there for years and years at that particular store. I had only been there like 3 years. And she had come through her line once and she, left. And one of the box people were talking to this checker and they said, why is she always in such a bad mood? Well, her son had died. And he had died just almost a year prior to when I told you, like for 6 months, she was like that. And then it all made sense to me. And so I just continued to be the way that I was with her. And before I ended up retiring and leaving that store, she started to soften up, and she brought me in this present. And at Christmas time, I use it. It's a nightlight, but it's of an angel. And she said, I just want to thank you for always being so kind. And had I just looked at her demeanor and how she was, you could have very well thought, you know what, let somebody else check you out, or whatever. But there was something about her that I just felt I needed to be kind to her. And then obviously, when I found out, and now for sure with what I went through, I completely get it. Because when that happens, you do get angry, Well, I can't say everybody does. Everybody doesn't. But it's not unusual for that to happen. And, but yeah, and then from that point on until I retired, she, always would come in my line and talk to me. So my point being, there's usually a story behind what's going on with a person. And not always. Some people are just jerks. I mean, but for the most part, for the most part, there is something going on that leads to the disposition that they have. Hey, Cheryl's Crafty World, how are you? Wouldn't that be fun, Grandma Joe? Hi, Debbie, how are you, honey? What did I do today? I worked all day, Maria. I was telling the girls, I could not believe how many people um, buying fabric today. My department was the busiest, if you can believe that. I couldn't even believe it. I mean, I cannot believe all. I just couldn't believe it. So I was so busy today. I mean, from the time I got there until we left. So yeah, I worked all day. Then I came home and took a shower, ate my in and out that was awful, and then got on here to talk to you guys. Yep, it was open today. Can you believe it? Grandma Joe. I know. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, this one, she came, I think, I don't know exactly where they lived. I think they lived in, shoot, I can't remember where she said that it wasn't right around here. Well, anyway, all of a sudden, I see this basket and it is topped over with fabric. There were, are you ready for this? In my whole store today, the whole store, there were 5 people working. Five. Five. That's including the manager, the checkers, my department, and framing. That's it. That was it. So you have no one to call if you need backup. When we went on our breaks, we just hoped for the best. Framing had to come over and cut for me when I went to lunch because there was no one there. So anyway, I'm thinking, oh Lord, oh my gosh. And all I'm thinking is, oh, I hope no one else comes up. Well, wouldn't you know it? 2 more people are behind her. And I'm thinking, oh gosh. So I start cutting. So she wanted a third of a yard of all of these, except for the 4 last. And she wanted 2.5 yards of each of those. So I'm cutting them, and what she was doing is she was getting stuff ready to make quilts for Christmas. So I understand. I mean, you've got to, you've got to get that stuff. If, and she was making quite a few. And then the other people that I had another one come in, and she got about 10 bolts, and she was making prayer blankets to give to people. Because like when Tanya died, my friend Kathy that comes in here sometimes, she's in a group, Bikers for Christ, and they all put together this quilt for me, and it's a prayer quilt, and she sent it to me, which was very sweet. So that lady made those, and then I had people come in to get upholstery material. Well, you know how big those upholstery bolts are. So I cut a lot of that. And then there was a recall on patterns, so I had to get those all taken care of. So that's what I did. 5 people in the whole store. When I walked in today and Larry, one of the managers, told me, and I said, you got to be kidding me. there's only 5 of us for the whole day until we close. He said, yep. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either, Bella. But yeah, they were. Grandma Joe. She's still trying to get the car loaded up. You guys, can you imagine if we were all ever together? Well, first of all, it would be so loud with everybody talking. That's true, Mary. Oh my gosh, I could never be a bank. Oh, no, I couldn't. I know I couldn't. Oh, how sweet, Grandma Joe. You know what? Have you thought about keeping some of his shirts? Because I want so bad to get a hold of some of Tanya's stuff, but I don't think the girls are ready. They just want everything staying the way it was. You know what I mean? I mean, her room is exactly like it was. But I would love to get a hold of some of her shirts so I could make either quilts or teddy bears out of them. You know what? Now that you say that, I think I hear more fireworks too, Lynn. Okay, wait. You're making garland and fabric sunflowers for my September decor. I know I still want to make some of my flowers too. When my dad passed away, that just reminded me. Where would be nice to meet sometime would be Austin, Texas. Then you're gonna like my haul and you're going to like my B series, Maria. I'm gonna do stuff on bees. Did you get your wigs, Susan? Now I forgot what I was gonna tell you guys. Dang it. Oh my gosh. Well, that store, I guess, is called the Christmas store too. Do you know I still haven't been in that store? And I have not been in that store, but I'll go in during the holidays. What was I going to tell you guys? Do you remember? Oh, thanks, Maria. Susan, are you? Oh, you go back August 6th. Um, yeah. Well, I had to start getting some of my Christmas stuff out, because of what I'm going to be making, and I had to see what things that I still needed. So I still have to go to the store. Uh, I work Saturday, so I'll go after work Saturday. Yeah, we have it, and that. No, I haven't gone yet. By the time I get off work, I'm so tired, all I want to do is go home. But when the holidays, probably the end of September, you guys, I am so afraid we're going to have a hot winter. I am so afraid of this because our cool weather has lasted longer than I ever can remember. I never have remembered the cool weather lasting as long as it did and as much rain as we got, which I loved. But what I'm afraid of is because it went into this time where we are right now, I'm so afraid that we're going to, in November, December, then have heat, you know? There goes Grandma Joe. She's still getting everybody ready on the bus. No, I told you my experience with the houses, Peggy. So, Maria, what are you doing now? And I have flowers I've been wanting to make. I've been wanting to make these stupid flowers forever. And I think I'll probably end up making some, I think for Halloween. I think I'm going to do that because I think they're going to turn out really cute. And then I'll make some, well, actually, I could do some for the sweet treats too. I just got so much in my head. It's a warehouse where you're going, Bella? But I heard, and that is expensive. I like Kelly. And her, Joanne's, you remember the flowers that, or the papers she got, Heather, and anyone else that watches Kelly Barlow? Um, and it came from Joanne's, and it was in a packet like the scrapbook paper would be. And actually, it's in the scrapbook department, okay? Well, I went to my Joann's looking for it, and of course, they didn't have it. They didn't even have a section for it. So, I went online. Well, you pay an arm and a leg for the shipping if you don't buy enough. Well, I had nothing else that I needed from there. You know what I mean? But I would like to get that denim. And I want to get that one sign. I think it's Michael's. I think Val was showing the one where it says pumpkin spice everything. And that's what the sign says. I want to get that for my kitchen. Because you guys, you know what? I was just thinking this today earlier. Now that the 4th of July is over, we have Labor Day. And that's it, my friends. We're going into, you know what? Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Right there. The machine, that machine there, Debbie, there, it's a silhouette. But the silhouettes aren't as easy to work, I've heard, as the Cricut, and that's why I want to get the Cricut. Good night, Grandma Joe. Please let us know how Rich is doing. Yeah, I know, I do too, Bella. Those fall Dollar Tree signs look so cute. Yes. I'm decorating with the sunflowers too, and I have my daisies out for the bumblebee decor that I'm going to be doing. Sometimes I wish I could just wiggle my nose and have everything done because my mind, I have so many things I want to do, and my body just can't work as fast as my mind goes. You know what I mean? I love fall too, Bella. I think a mosquito just bit me. Doggone it. Oh. You know when you get a mosquito bite and you itch and itch and itch and it just gets worse and worse and worse? So you know what I do? I slap my leg. I slap it. And it helps. Oh, you have the ScanNCut? Oh, you're a hot shot. The ScanNCut is the one from Brother, right, Debbie? Oh, you got to see them, Heather. They're really cute. I can't remember who did a haul on them. Um, Maybe it was Kelly. But they're cute. They have two fall. Well, you know what? Go on to dollartree.com. That's where I saw them. Go on to dollartree.com and put in fall uh, and Halloween signs, and they'll come up. They're real skinny. No, Mary Lou. Heaven forbid. I used to work 40 hours. I work 2 days a week. And I am just fine with that. But how do they have them? Pam, what the heck, woman? I bet you had a perfect seat at your house being able to see the fireworks, didn't you? Lori always gets good stuff. That girl, her Dollar Trees, she always gets good stuff. Oh, thanks, Lynn. Thank you. Is that what it is? Because I just slap it real hard and then it feels better. Because the more I itch it, the more it itches, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's where you could just dig into your leg until you hit bone. I know that sounds gross, but you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I can't stand it. But if I slap it for some reason, it. I sound like such a weirdo. I really do. When I was little, I remember I used to try to wiggle my nose and I would hope things would happen. Oh no, you had another migraine, Heather? Dang it. Yeah, the Brother ScanNCut. That's the one that oh shoot. What is her name? On HSN. The one that always shows the ScanNCut. Okay, Debbie, the ScanNCut, is that where could you take a photo and it'll print out and you can scan it? And Heather, you crafted all day? I tried to look at Lori's, when did she put it up? Because I tried to go over there and the last thing I saw her, what she did was her wreath with her rockets. Maybe she just didn't have it up yet. Oh yeah, those are so cute. The black ones turn out so doggone cute. Remember to use, when you do the black, or go back and look at the video again, what makes them look really good and shiny, like if you were to make a real one, get the gloss black, okay? The high gloss. Don't get just a regular black. Get the high gloss. Yeah, I have the very old Cricut. I mean, the first one that was ever out. I have some, you guys, I know you're gonna like a couple of these Halloween uh, DIYs that I'm gonna do, and I'm getting stuff ready to get all that together. I want to get a Cricut too. I want to get the Maria's saying I should get the Cricut Maker. Is that right, Maria? What have you scanned and cut, Debbie? Oh, yesterday she uploaded it. Okay. You can also put, you could go outside, Heather, and get little branches and put into your caramel apples. That would look cute. My rings, no. Yeah, but you know what's kind of fun? Well, I don't know if it's funny, but when I put these on in the morning, they're, you know, not snug, but you know, they're there. At night, usually they're almost falling off of me. Did I ever tell you about the person that uh, she asked me why I wear these rings? You have too many on. You shouldn't wear them. Okay. Okie dokie. Whatever you say. She makes really cute pies from burlap. What, Polly? Never fails, you guys. She always wants up here before I get off. Hold on, come on. Polly, you gotta help me. Look who. Now I'm hearing guns. Oh my gosh, you guys, the other night, I'm not kidding. I was taking the dogs out. I think it's after I did a live with you guys, and I was taking them out, and it was just about quarter to 12. I had just got them in the house, and you can tell a gunshot, you know what I mean? There's a difference. I thought, oh my Lord, what is going on? The only thing I could think of was maybe, because it sounded like it came from the back, like in other words, where my bedroom window is, that would be the front of their house. Well, it's okay, it's the canyon and then these people's houses and then my house one street up. So I'm only one street away from the canyon, okay? The only thing I could think of was maybe a coyote was coming into the back and they wanted to scare it. I don't know. All I know is it was a gunshot. And I kept waiting to hear police or something. But nothing ever happened, so I don't know. You've scanned stuff, stamped stuff. What's a Richter, Dana? Yeah, you're gonna like. I know you're gonna like the Halloween DIYs. Yeah. Mind your business, ladybug. Me too, Debbie. Yeah. You know what? You hear all kinds of stuff. Just ask Bella. I'm telling you, no joke. When you're the thing is when you're on YouTube, you do hear. You know what? I have to go back to Ricky Nelson's song, and it really that song speaks to me, and it has for years and years and years before YouTube. Garden Party. You can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. I knew Rosemary would like seeing her. Hi, Dora. Yeah, guns, Pam. Bella. No, I did not feel it, Pam. Did you? Oh my gosh. She said that, Lynn? I'm reading real quick. That's unbelievable. Hey, Sandra, how are you, honey? Really, you saw him? Said she looked like that, huh? Wow. Wow. Okay, there you go, you guys. Pam, I came on here in the beginning to tell because I had had people texting me, YouTube family, and asking me if I was okay and all. I was at work all day today, okay, and I did not feel a thing. Nobody did at work. Nobody. And then there were people 10 minutes away. They felt it. So it just depended, I guess, where you were. So it was like a rolling motion for you. Did it last for a while? So you had that scared too, Peggy, but it was just a bird. Well, this wasn't a bird, but there you go. I put you on there. Why don't I see the wrench? Yeah, I put you on there because it took, I don't know why it's not showing. You felt it in San Diego, Sandra? Because I heard people felt it in San Diego. Oh, just a couple seconds. I put you on there, Debbie. I don't know why you don't have a wrench. Lori's is Creative Lori. Yeah, I mean, even the girl, well, when I say the girls, I mean the dogs. They even looked, and I mean, it spooked them, you know, because they looked at me and they looked at each other. Oh, there you are. You've got the wrench. And San Diego is, you know, another 50 miles from me. So think about that. It bypassed, I don't know. I guess it's just the way the fault line goes or something. I don't know. It is bizarre sometimes, that's for sure. The thing that with any earthquake, more than anything, when you start seeing a second story swaying back and forth, meaning your house, and you start seeing the lights going back and forth and sway, and you're thinking, is this going to end? That's the only thing that always comes into my mind, hoping this is going to end, right? I was on the road once when the San Francisco earthquake hit, and I thought I was having a flat tire. And then you know, because it started to like bump, 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 bump. You know what I mean? And then I started looking ahead of me, and I saw cars kind of, you know, going this way, and I thought, oh my gosh, we're having an earthquake. The epicenter was in the Mojave Desert, China Lake, around in that area, up by Bakersfield. Why am I making you sweat, Debbie? Okay, Linda, you have a good Friday, okay, honey? Bella, do you have to go to work tomorrow? I'm going to sign off too. It's getting late for all you guys. But yep, tomorrow I'm just going to get in that other closet and start getting out what I need. Go to work Saturday. Next week, start my stuff. Oh my gosh, Bella, you've got to go to sleep, for corn's sake. It's probably 3 o'clock in the morning there. Oh, that was awful too, Pam. I remember. All right, guys. Remember, the world's a better place because you're in it. Don't ever, ever forget that. What would I do without you guys? Have a great Friday. Love you.